7 corporations seizing control of the world's drinking water. You should be alarmed. Water is the most valuable resource on Earth. You can live without oil. You can't live without water. And that's exactly why the elite are buying it up. Nestlé, Coca-Cola, and Veolia control lakes, rivers, and aquifers. Wall Street banks like JP Morgan treat water rights as investments. Bill Gates buys farmland that gives him control of underground water sources. BlackRock and Vanguard quietly sit at the top, owning shares in all of them. Once water is privatized, there's no going back. The more scarce it becomes, the more expensive it will be. Communities worldwide are already suffering. Wells drying up near bottling plants. Water bills skyrocketing when utilities are sold to private corporations. Farmers forced to buy water at inflated prices just to survive. This isn't a conspiracy. It's a business plan. Do you think water should be a basic human right, or will the elite succeed in turning water into a commodity only they control? Drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss out on the next video. How about you go further, share with friends and tell your friends to tell their friends to do the same. In this video, we are going to reveal 7 corporations that are buying up the planet's most precious resources, and soon, they will decide who drinks and who doesn't. But first, a question to think about. Do you think water will ever be free again? I really want you to think hard on this one. Stay with me till the end, this may shock you. Why water is the new oil? Only 2.5% of Earth's water is fresh water. Population growth, in addition to the dynamics of nature. I am trying to avoid using climate change because by using this concept it implies that I agree with globalists. Globalists that exploit our resources like to use the terminology climate change to scare and scam us. Nature is a living thing. For millions of years it has taken care of itself by evolving, adapting, and resetting itself to enable it to survive for another set of millions of years. So, some elites with their own hidden agendas have managed to convince us, the people, that we the tiny organisms that exist on this huge complex ecosystem called the universe, that we have a responsibility to save it. What nonsense! Surely, we should coexist, together with other organisms in nature responsibly. However, there is no justification to pay the high price of being a presence on this planet. Sure, we should take some serious initiatives to live and not deliberately destroy this complex universe. However, not by the lack of solutions provided by ravenous greedy corporations. Excuse me, now that this is somewhat clarified, let's get back on track to today's topic. Where was I? Right. Water scarcity is rising faster than we can keep up. Corporations know this. To control the water, you control life itself. This concept sounds familiar. You will understand in the next video when we discuss the monopoly and control of our food supply. That's why elites are quietly buying up lakes, rivers, and underground aquifers. This isn't just business. It's power. Let's get started from number 7 down to number 1. Number 7. Vanguard and BlackRock, owning it all. These investment giants own shares in Nestlé, Veolia, Coca-Cola, and more. They don't just control one company. They control the entire water industry. As water becomes scarce, their profits will skyrocket. The same 2 firms are quietly buying the planet, piece by piece. Number 6. Cargill, controlling agriculture and water together. Cargill is the world's biggest agricultural company. Now, think about this. Doesn't it surprise you that most companies that control your livelihood barely advertise their name or have it printed on packages? Well, just so you know, the power is in secrecy. They buy land and water rights to control the entire supply chain. Farmers become dependent on their systems, either they participate or they will collapse. You know right here the big controversy that has emerged from the past 50 years. Farmers' businesses have been destroyed and governments all over the world have made laws that stress the farmer's livelihood to the point that they simply walk away. These companies control the seed banks, fertilizer, and most importantly, the water. Number 5. Bill Gates, farmland and water access. Bill Gates is now the largest private farmland owner in the USA. Farmland isn't just about crops, it gives control over underground water resources. You would not be wrong to question why someone from within the technology industry would be so aggressive in acquiring so much privately owned farmland. It is all about power and to control the resources. Whoever controls these resources that everyone depends on will control the people. When the same elites own farmland and water, they decide who eats and drinks. And he who controls what you eat controls your behavior, what you can access and say. Number 4. JP Morgan AM, turning water into an investment. Wall Street banks are buying water rights, treating it like a commodity, stocks, or real estate. They know scarcity will make water more valuable than oil. What about ordinary people? That is a very important question. They will be forced to buy from those who own it. Number 3. Coca-Cola, destroying aquifers for profits. Coca-Cola operates massive bottling plants in India, Africa, and Latin America. Villages report wells running dry while such plants extract millions of liters daily. When locals protest, governments side with the corporation. I guess I could call this soft drinks over survival. Number 2. Veolia and Suez, privatizing public water. These French giants now manage water systems in over 70 countries. They buy government-owned utilities, then raise rates dramatically. Citizens can't live without water, so they pay whatever the price is set at. Privatization brands water a business. And the business is absolute dependency. Some of the main countries: Australia, Belgium, Canada, China, Denmark, Finland, France, Ireland. They operate on monopoly over the world: 55 in Europe, 1 in Africa, 2 in Oceania, 17 in Asia, 12 in North Africa, and 3 in South America. Number 1. Nestlé, the global water hoarder. Nestlé has been buying water rights for decades. In drought-hit regions like California and Africa, they pump groundwater for pennies, then sell it for huge profit dollars. Communities are left with dry wells while Nestlé's bottled water empire grows. Water isn't a right, Nestlé once claimed. It's commodity. Let's look a bit closer on the Africa case. The water situation in Africa is even more sinister. The continent's recolonization in the form of land grab and privatization is compromising autonomous and sustainable community development. The new colonizers are not just countries such as Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Kuwait, Japan, or corporations like Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley, but US academic institutions such as Harvard University and Vanderbilt University. Sekou Diarra describes this logic of capitalism as the commodification of life in Pambazuka News. Nowadays, politicians in Africa are generally more concerned with market efficiency, economic growth rates, productivity of financial capital, and the security of the rich than they are about human rights and the security of the people. In African countries, if progress is identified with economic growth alone, it leads to the gradual loss of the representative aspects of their institutions and an increasing gap between public institutions and citizens. The latter are considered as consumers, clients, people with savings, all merely aimed at benefiting the stock exchanges. Mali is one of the countries that experience both land grab and privatization of their water. Mali's neighbor Niger continues to suffer the effects of the 2010 drought and famine. The majority of Niger's people are poor, so the country cannot afford to privatize water because it would lead to disastrous consequences for its already impoverished population. But the trick is that Niger, as well as many other countries, receives World Bank IMF funds on condition that their utilities, including water, are privatized. Privatization of water is also one of the main demands the G8 leaders are imposing on countries seeking debt relief and further aid. I understand as we go further into this discussion, it will lead to more question of independence, etc. That's okay, as we are unmasking the evils behind global predicaments. Since 1992, 6 privatization contracts were awarded to foreign, mainly French companies in South Africa. The losers of this affair are the poorer communities for whom the right to water, a fundamental and inalienable human right, is denied. Following this, environmental pollution, preventable diseases and violence against neighbors increased. What decreased was the people's dignity, because they are forced to steal water from each other to survive. In Ghana, after privatization, water charges increased by 95%. 1/3 of Ghana's population has no access to clean water. Immediately after independence, President Kwame Nkrumah set up a policy of nationalization, but it changed in the 1990s, when the period of liberalization and water privatization began. Water privatization is not the only way in which people are being disenfranchised and impoverished. Multinational corporations also exploit their water resources and commercialize natural spring water. They then sell it back to the source countries in bottles. An excellent example is Nestlé. As I wrote 2 years ago, Nestlé is the global leader in the exploitation of water across the globe. It has 67 bottling factories and sells in more than 130 countries. In Pakistan, Nestlé, the world leader in bottled water, invented a blueprint factory that could be shipped to any location in the world. It chose Pakistan for a number of reasons, one of which is that it is the only country in the region that has an unregulated groundwater sector, meaning that anyone can simply dig a hole and extract as much water as they want without paying a penny. The pure life water has been produced in Pakistan, Asia, Africa, and South America and is marketed as capturing nature in its purest form. In short, Nestlé now owns and distributes nature on every continent. New internationalist. Water is everyone's right and access to it should be free because nature gives it to us for free. If one asks about the cost of producing it, well, as this, where does money you pay in tax per a year go? Final truth. Water is life. But as we discuss now, it has become a leverage. Whoever controls water controls the world. And these corporations are ensuring from here forward you buy it from them. Here's a known bottled water fact to muse over. Evian, the brand on the water bottle, written in reverse reads naive. Additionally, unfortunately, this natural life-dependent product that nature offers our planet for free, the governments have exploited this free natural product and have been charging us for using it. Check your water usage rates. Do you think water should be a human right or a commodity? Drop your answer below. Don't keep this truth to yourself. Share it and awaken the masses before it's too late. I would like to thank you all. This has been wonderful and thank you for being with me here today. Until the next video upload, bye bye.